Hey guys, welcome back to the Girlfriends and Goals podcast YouTube channel. My name is Samaria and I'm joined by my best friend and co-host Miyosha. And today we are doing an Am I the A-hole reaction video, and the theme is family and marriage. So if you're interested in that, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and let us know in the comments what you think about these scenarios. All right, I'll go ahead and get started with the first one.
Okay.
So this one says, am I the a-hole for not going to the wedding of my dad and his affair partner? Juicy. Okay. When I was 17, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. 2 years later, she passed away. During these 2 years, my dad was not around much. He was always working and going on business trips. My aunt and grandma took care of my mom. About 5 months after my mother's passing, my dad introduced me to his new girlfriend. I was pissed. I yelled at him about how quickly he moved on from mom when they decided to tell me they had been in a relationship for 3 years. My dad had been cheating on my mom while she was dying. His business trips were to meet his affair partner. I was so angry, I packed my stuff and left his house. I haven't spoken to him since that day. Whew. Currently, I am 25. The only family I speak to is an aunt who helped me when I left my dad's house. A few days ago, my aunt called me, asked me how I was, and then asked me if I had heard from my dad. I said, why would I hear from him again? My aunt said dad was getting married to his affair partner, and by going to his wedding, it would help us mend our relationship. I said, why would I do that? He is dead to me. There was a silence on the phone for a bit before my dad replied, asking if that was what I felt about him. I immediately cut the call when I heard his voice. I realized he was with my aunt when she made the call to me. I texted my aunt telling her I asked her not to tell dad anything about me, and she agreed back then. She texted me back saying I was an a-hole for saying what I said, and my dad is crushed hearing that, and that I should move on by now. I did not want to argue with someone who helped me, so I blocked her. Over the next 2 days, I got sent a wedding invitation to my mailbox. The only person in the family who knew my address was my aunt, and she gave my number to various members of the family. I'm being bombarded with calls and texts from dad, uncles, cousins, aunts, saying I should give him a chance and come to the wedding. Some calling me names for saying what I said. I got a text from the affair partner saying my dad is thinking of postponing the wedding and I should just talk to him. For context, the affair partner was a friend of my mom and knew she had cancer. I said it's not my fault if he postpones the wedding. I don't want to have a relationship with dad or her. They're trying to force it. It got quiet after that, but being told by so many people from my dad's side that I am an a-hole did leave me conflicted, but I am sticking to my guns. So am I the a-hole?
I don't think so. I think you're entitled to not go anywhere that you don't want to. There's clearly a lot of history there. And what it makes sense is that you would show up to someone's wedding with feelings of animosity or wanting to be there.
Yes.
But you still being there. It could shift the mood of the day, especially if your dad thinks that by you being there, that would mend your relationship.
Right.
That's not the time or place or the type of event that would do that. It's going to require a lot more work than you just showing up at a wedding. And I wouldn't even expect that you would even have certain conversations about mending anything on that day. So I don't think that you're the a-hole. You're an adult, you're 25, you can go or not go where you please. And if you're not in the right headspace or you don't have a genuine desire to be there and be supportive, I think you would be an a-hole for showing up in a bad mood.
Yeah. I absolutely agree with this. And I think so many people cross the line, especially the aunt who called with the dad on the phone or the dad around on speaker or whatever the arrangement was. You don't do that to somebody. You don't know what I'm gonna say. I haven't talked to this man in, what is it, like 8 years? She was 17 when it happened. So I haven't talked to this man in 8 years. You know that I don't think highly of him. I've lived my life in a way that I don't have to interact with him. What were you expecting me to say? Oh, yeah, I want to talk to him. Yeah, I want to mend the relationship. Absolutely not. Like, that is a traumatic thing to have happen. But then the
Mhm.
age that it happened, I think makes it even worse.
And I think they're probably caught up on, oh, she's upset because there was a new woman. I think it's more than that. I think it's my mom was dying and you were not
Mhm.
her caretaker. She was being taken care of by her mom and the aunt. So
Yeah,
it's more, it's layered. It's more than just, oh, he was frolicking with this woman. He wasn't taking care of my mom. And who was taking care of her as a six, say a
that
15 to 17-year-old? He was
that's the
absent.
thing.
So it, it seems like it's about the partner, but it's more than the partner.
It's not like, not only did you abandon my mom, who I have a connection to, right? But you abandoned me, because who was there looking out for me emotionally when all of this was going down? So you were an absent husband, an absent father. And now I'm just supposed to show up to your wedding. So I don't know if this is the first time that he's tried to reach out to her, but why do people think that big events are the time to mend relationships? Like, no, if I didn't like you 5 months ago, just because I'm getting married, that doesn't mean, oh, now I want you around. No, I still don't like you because you haven't done the things to like mend our relationship prior to this big event. So, no, a wedding is not an olive branch. People need to stop that
Mm-mm.
for real.
Yeah, I think the aunt definitely crossed the line, and I wonder how much accountability she's even holding him to,
Mm,
because it's like, oh, well, you should be over it now. You should get over it. What were their apologies? Like, what else has been done in terms of effort on his part to show that
mhm,
he's ready to move forward? Because you know what, families, especially when it's regarding a parent or parental type figure,
mhm.
they older people in the family may even feel like, well, do you really need an apology? Do you really
Yes.
need them to be accountable for what they've done or not
Yeah.
done? Yes, I do need it. And sometimes they can be the enabler. So as much as this aunt may have been supportive to her, she may have enabled this situation to kind of continue longer, because I wonder also, like, how long has she been updating the dad behind the scenes?
Exactly.
Didn't randomly happen to where, oh, he just so happened to be there. I don't know if I'm buying that.
Yeah, and then here's the other thing. Was there any remorse for how he acted? Because now he's getting married to the same person. It's like, are you sorry that you did what you did, or you feel like justified because the relationship worked out, or justified because I don't know. It just it reeks of entitlement. And I think you're absolutely right in that a lot of times the children of the family have to be the bigger person when it comes to how the adults have wronged them. And that also needs to stop. There's a lot of stuff that needs to stop with family dynamics.
Yeah, it's like, we're the children. I'm the child. Why
You
do
be
I
the
have
bigger person. Right. You
you
grown.
got 30 years, 25 years on me, yet I'm supposed to be the mature one?
Yeah,
No, the wedding is
absolutely.
not it. And as far as him calling off the wedding, that don't have nothing to do with you.
What you want me to do?
You
Okay.
didn't call off cheating.
And you're his friend. Oh my God. See, you really do have to watch the friends that you're around, because not only are you impacted by it, but then your children could be impacted, your family could be impacted. Like, so many things can be impacted. That's why you got to keep like really solid friends around you, because you never know to what extent that friendship could just mess up
Yeah.
your life and your family's lives.
Yeah, and the reality is sometimes there are just some things that are set in motion that you can't come back from. And
Very
I
true.
think a
Yeah.
lot of times people go around making decisions that
Hmm.
they can't even fathom the fallout or the
Yes.
eternal result of
Yeah.
their decisions. It's like, because they can't live with it. Now, you can't live with it, but maybe she is at peace. I mean,
And if she is, good for her, because that's a lot. Like,
it is a lot. Y'all let us know in the comments what y'all think. You think she's the a-hole? Should she just give in and show up to this wedding that she's not interested in? Fake
anyway.
support? Okay. All right, so we're going to get into the next one. Am I the a-hole for wishing my cousin wouldn't marry her fiance? I, 28-year-old female, and very close to my cousin Jess, 27-year-old female, I'd consider her more of a best friend or like a sister. I would even have been her maid of honor if I hadn't had to drop out for other reasons. She is marrying her fiance, 28-year-old male, Tom, of 6 years, who is okay enough as dudes go. He has a job, shares many hobbies with Jess, is a good dad to their 2 kids, and as far as I know, has treated her okay. But one thing that always makes me hate his guts is he has cheated on her 3 times. I'm sorry. I have to
this is
take
the man who treats her okay.
I'm sorry. I'm just reading. I'm sorry. I can't get over that she treats him okay.
As far as I can tell, he treats her okay, except for the times that he's cheated on her. Like,
Okay.
girl, he does not treat this girl okay. You can say
No, y'all, let's get on the same page. That's not okay. All right. I want to be clear. It's not recent acts either. He cheated once when they were first dating, right after they had their first kid, and recently about 5 months ago. Okay. She does know about it, and I have been there when she has cried her eyes out about it, but he has used what I believe is an excuse of mental health issues as his reasons for cheating, and she believes him. I'm not saying mental health isn't valid or isn't a reason for some actions people make, but I believe there is no mental health problem that makes you F people who aren't your girlfriend. Jess is the kind of person who thinks with her heart, and it has burned her before. Her wedding is in a few weeks, and she has been so frantically happy, and I desperately want to be happy for her, but I just believe if he cheated, he can and will do it again. Even though I can't be her maid of honor right now, I will be there for her on her big day. I will smile, cry, celebrate, and be as happy as I can muster for her. But in the back of my head, I will be thinking she is making the biggest mistake of her life. I almost wish he would cheat on her before the wedding and break up now before they're legally tied instead of later. And watching her go through a divorce. Am I the a-hole?
Ooh. Okay, for that last thought, a little bit. Like, I want him to cheat on her before the wedding so that it could be done. She's not though. Like in general, she's not. You're right for wanting to look out for your cousin. She's obviously living her best delusional life right now. And so you want to let her have that moment, but it's gonna wear off and she's gonna crash. And then she would have spent however many years in this type of a situation that doesn't serve her. But yeah, you also got to think. I know sometimes people are like, "Oh, but he takes care of the kids." Like it sounds like there are what 2 kids she said. So I don't know. Maybe her cousin has accepted that this is just the life I'm gonna live, and I have the kids, and it might not be something that you would settle for, but maybe she's made her peace with it at least temporarily, and just wants to enjoy some happy times. I don't know. I'm trying too hard to to make it make sense because it doesn't.
I want to ask you this. Do you think it is fair of her to pretend to be happy for them during this season?
I think sometimes people think they can pretend, but they can't. Like
Mm.
I'm the type of person who, like, even when I try to pretend, you can tell I'm like, you can just tell I can't not be disturbed by what is going on. So I think it is maybe noble of her to try to pretend, but let's be for real. How much pretending can you do when you, as she said, hates his guts or something like that?
Hmm.
Girl, ain't that much pretending in the world. Denzel Washington couldn't pretend that good.
No. Yeah, I don't think that you're the a-hole. I think this is just a lesson your cousin slash best friend is gonna have to learn on her own. And I think for some people going into a covenant of marriage and watching the person not uphold their vows or still have this crazy behavior might be the thing to kind of wake them up. Because for some reason, I think people will think like, oh, well, they cheated, but we weren't technically married or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be. There's something about getting married, I think that can kind of be that final push to be like, oh no, you disrespected the marriage, you whatever.
Yeah. Danae Jackson said this when she did that Dear
Mhm.
Future Wifey episode. I don't know if you watched it. It was super
Mm.
long. I don't even know if I finished
I
it all.
did, but I don't remember everything she said.
But one of the things that she said stood out to me and might apply to this situation where she felt like,
Mhm.
in comparison to the other women, she felt like she had won. Like, oh, because
Mm.
he's willing to marry me, so I've won, and I'm the one who he's taking seriously. So I don't know if that applies to her cousin Jess, but maybe it does somehow, and it feels like, oh, this is a prize for me for
Mhm.
being long suffering or whatever. But yeah, that just came to mind because people enter these situations for a lot of different reasons. And I
Yeah.
hate that like kids are involved.
And
Huh.
it's been a while, 6 years and 2 kids. I could see her justifying the length of time and the kids as a reason to at least give it a shot.
Hmm. But he
Yeah.
had cheated. He cheated when y'all first got together after the first child, when he should have been being a parent.
And
And
5
then
months ago,
5 months ago.
it's like every milestone, like how old are the kids? And
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Oh
um,
Lord. I don't know. Sometimes we want to save people who don't want to be saved, and
I'd agree.
there's nothing to do about that. But yeah,
Mm-mm.
she's not the a-hole, at least from our point of view. I
Mhm.
think at this point, there's nothing she can do or say. If I were her, I wouldn't say anything because she knows everything that she needs to know at this point.
Mhm.
And there's nothing you can say, obviously, to change her mind. She just got to go through it and thug it out.
I'd agree.
All right. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below, and we will see you guys on the next video. Bye.
Bye.